This is Ayurveda Health and Wellness Podcast, where you get to meet the best Ayurveda practitioners so that you can transform your life through Ayurvedic science. Hello and welcome everyone once again in today's episode of Ayurveda Health and Wellness with me, Hitesh Anand. And again, I have with me Dr. Kanika Verma. Hi, Kanika.
Hi, Hitesh.
So today we are going to discuss about side effects of Ayurvedic medicines. In our last podcast, we discussed about how heavy metals can be really dangerous to us if used in a wrong way. And in this episode, we will be focusing upon how even herbs sometimes can have side effects as well. So, Kanika, first of all, obvious question, does Ayurvedic medicines have side effects or not?
Yes, they have. See, there are three categories of Ayurvedic medicines. And they are, first one is Swasthavrata. Swasthavrata medicines, Swasthavrata is a category in which you can define food, medicines, everything. So, Swasthavrata means sphere of health. So, the food that is inside the sphere of health. For example, simple dal and rice or simple sabzi roti, simple fare that you eat every day, that comes under the sphere of health. You can go on eating this stuff for years and it will not cause any side effect. Similarly, there are certain herbs and certain combinations which even if you go on using for years, continuously, every day, they will not have any side effect. And they come under the sphere of health. For example, Triphala. Triphala is one of the medicines, one of the combinations mentioned in Charak Samhita, and it is said about Triphala that you can go on having Triphala every single day in a limited dosage for years. And it will only help your body to rejuvenate. So yes, there is a category of medicines which do not have any side effects at all. And you can go on taking them. However, what is not promoted normally is another group of medicines which do have side effects. And again, there are two categories of medicines which do have side effects. One is Dhatu Pradushana. Dhatu Pradushana, the word Dhatu means tissues. And according to Ayurveda, there are 7 basic tissues in the body. They are Ras, Rakta, Mas, Med, Asi, Majja, Shukra, which means the digestive juices, blood, muscular tissue, fatty tissue, bony tissue, and so on and so forth. They form 7 basic tissues inside the body. And any medicine that can create a loophole or a soft spot in these tissues can cause diseases. So, you see, diseases are not caused in a perfect system, but when there is a weak link, then the disease can seep in. And there are certain medicines, certain herbs, when these herbs are consumed in a wrong manner or in wrong time or in wrong dosage, yes, they affect our metabolism and they create these weak links in our tissues. And then you can actually fall sick. So these are Dhatu Pradushanam. The word Pradushan means pollution. So when some herbs, when they are consumed in a wrong manner, they can pollute these tissues. And when they pollute these tissues, the diseases are the incidental result. For example, there is one herb called Haritaki. Now, Haritaki is a very, very good herb, and I think many people know about it. It is one of the constituents of Triphala also. So what is said about Haritaki is that a mother can harm the child, but Haritaki inside stomach will never harm the stomach. It is said about Haritaki. But this does not mean that you can go on taking Haritaki. There is another statement which says that after a month's time, Haritaki can be very, very, not favorable for the entire digestive system. It can disrupt the digestive system.
Yeah,
So,
I have, heard about Haritki during our dyeing process. For my company, we were trying green color for dyeing through Haritki, and it actually works. You get green color herbs through Haritki, and it looks really good. We are still kind of working on it to come up with proper color with right fastening using Haritki. So that was the first time when I heard about this herb.
that's very nice because haritiki used in clothes can bring a lot of medicinal impact. Our skin, we don't know, but our skin is another mouth. It absorbs medicines, it absorbs air. It is a great way of taking in the medicines. So there's a
True.
concept of Ayurvastra,
Yeah.
which you reminded me. The medicine through clothes, and I'm sure I'm interested in the dyeing process. I'll like to know more about it.
Sure. Why not?
Yeah. So this haritiki is one example. There are many such examples. For example, alcohol-based medicines. You cannot keep on consuming alcohol. First of all, you should not consume it in a large dosage. Secondly, Ayurveda recommends that you should not consume too much of alcohol right in the morning or during summer, because summer is already hot and alcohol also it makes your body hot. So these are certain medicines, and Ayurveda has a huge range of alcohol based medicines. Huge range. For example, Ashoka Arisht, Arjuna Arisht, these are all alcohol based medicines. So, these medicines also, when consumed in an improper manner, they are bound to have side effects. They can also affect your liver very negatively. So if someone says, okay, this is Ayurvedic medicine, let me just, eat any amount that I like. Sometimes people do that. So that is not correct. Okay. In fact, these are very, very innocent medicines. There are certain medicines which are actually poisons. There are herbs like bhallatak. Bhallatak is marking nut. It is highly poisonous herb. You must have heard about Vatsanab or aconite. Aconite is very poisonous. Gunja or beet tree. These are called upavisha in Ayurveda. The word visha means poison. So they are classified as poisons used for treatment. And
Right.
many Ayurvedic medicines contain these.
Okay.
And you see, Indra Varuni is another herb which is used for liver disorders. It's very effective for liver disorders. But if you touch if you put your finger in something that contains Indra Varuni and touch your eyes, it will cause severe eye inflammation and also severe sneezing. So there are ways to use Ayurvedic medicines.
Right.
And ideally, first of all, you should look at the constituents. You should look up the qualities of constituents and try to seek medical advice first. Ensure that the medicine is safe for usage. Consult your physician before using any Ayurvedic medicine. This is so it's not like a Ayurvedic medicine is just like food. You just eat it, pop a pill inside your mouth, and nothing will happen. That's not so.
Yeah,
That's
I
not
mean
true.
that's one of the misconception existing around people. They think that if it's Ayurvedic, you can have any way in any quantity you want, and it won't harm you because it's all herbs. But then again, as you said, herbs are not always good for our body. Given that they are not taken and in the right quantity, in the right way, as how it is prescribed in Ayurveda. Also, it depends on the body type, I am sure, and not every herb is meant for everyone.
Yeah, correct. So there is yet another very interesting category called Dosha Prashaman. Dosha Prashaman means first we looked at Dhatu Pradushanam that causes metabolic loophole inside the tissue. There is another category of herbs that are called Dosha Prashaman. That means they balance the metabolism. Okay, there are three doshas in Ayurveda: Vat, Pitta, and Kapha, and these are the herbs that help to balance. They will either balance Vat or either balance Kapha or either balance Pitta. Okay. But then the problem is that if you balance Vata dosha is said to be cool in nature, there is a possibility that Pitta will increase and cause inflammation. So, you see, our body is a very dynamic metabolic system. And if you increase one thing, the other thing might decrease, or, there can be certain imbalance inside the body.
True.
And say, for example, you take antibiotics, you take them along with antacids, because antibiotics, they create acidity inside the stomach. So you have to take another medicine to, calm down that acidity. So that ways, these are the Ayurvedic medicines that affect one system, but they do not balance the whole system, you see. For example, if you take ashwagandha is an adaptogen. It is rasayana. That means it balances the entire metabolic system, whether you talk about liver or pancreas or brain, it positively affects everything. But if you talk about certain herbs like senai, they don't balance the entire system. Okay, they will help in one specific disorder, but they might bring imbalance to the whole body if they are consumed in the wrong manner. For example, senai, you must have heard about Kayam Churn. It's a very famous medicine.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I remember their ads. Where they used to have these devils.
Yeah.
Very old ad. Yeah.
Yeah. So Kayam Churn uses one single ingredient called senai. It is a leaf. Okay, and it is excellent for constipation with instant results. Okay, but if you use it for a very long time, okay, it will balance the Vata dosha and it will help in a little bit in constipation. But if you take it for a long time, it will de-shape the intestines. You see, so these are certain medicines which you cannot take for a long time. They will create another problem inside the body.
Right.
Yeah, so it is very important. Many people, they consume Kayam Churna for years on, okay, and then they they become addicted to it. It's very important to note that there are certain Ayurvedic medicines which will bring you an immediate relief, but they do not cure the disorder. They do not cure the disorder. In fact, you can also become addicted to them. Addicted as in, whenever you take Kayam Churn, you will not have constipation. Otherwise, you will have constipation. In fact, probably even severe constipation. So these medicines are just like modern medicines. Till the time you take them, they produce result. If you stop taking them, they do not. You do not get the benefit. But if you look at Triphala, which is, it comes under the sphere of health, Swasthya Vrata, Triphala. If you take Triphala for 1 month, you will not have constipation. It will balance the whole system. But if you take this Senai with Kayam Churna, then it will produce effect till the time you're taking it. After that, if you stop taking it, it might produce side effects also, or even addiction. You will need to take it every time you have faced constipation. So there are various other categories. These are the 3 categories which we have discussed, but there are multiple other categories also of Ayurvedic medicine, and I seriously recommend that you must not try out anything without consulting your physician.
Yes, so talking about the side effects of medicines. Recently, I came across in fact, she's my sister, and she was. She was having a lot of pimples on the face, and she was kind of worried. And she went to an Ayurvedic doctor and got medicines. She started doing a sort of a course with him for, I don't know, maybe 6 months or so. And then all of a sudden, things were getting better, but all of a sudden there was some change in the medicine, and now there was so much pimples, and it has just busted out, and she feels so depressed now, and she's not going out, and she's saying my whole face is spoiled by the medicine. Again, a side effect of not taking the medicines or not prescribing the medicines in the right way or proper, not even maybe wrong medicine, but she is quite she is not even trying to talk to and meet people, just staying so. So yeah, I mean that I don't know what the reason could be. Probably you would understand better. All of a sudden, a change in medicine, and within a couple of days, it became really worse.
Yeah, see, there are so many factors at work. The seasonal change is also one huge factor because doshas, the metabolic pattern of the body changes according to season. The metabolic pattern changes according to the sun, the daytime. And there are so many things that, I believe even it is difficult even for a physician to check all the factors. But yes, this is not done, you know. So I personally feel that you should always take medicines at a very low dosage, first of all, and control all other factors, especially food. So many times that factor is ignored while taking Ayurvedic medicines. There, people believe that whatever I can eat, whatever, if I'm taking Ayurvedic medicine because they are just like plant based. But that's not so. There are certain Ayurvedic medicines which have severe side effects when you are taking acids with them, like for example, lemon juice or things like that, vinegar. These things don't go well with certain Ayurvedic medicines. So you see, there are lots of factors.
Yeah, I mean, I remember she was telling me that she's been asked not to eat anything, pretty much anything. She was just eating some sort of this khichdi and those kind of simple things, and rest everything was kind of banned for her. But anyhow, yeah, I mean, in the end, she resorted to homeopathy. Currently, probably that's what she's doing, and because she's just looking for a right solution as soon as possible. So, yeah, okay, that's interesting. So, I mean, continuing with that, how can we, Kanika, how can we avoid such side effect? Like, as it happened with my sister, like what are the things that we have to take care of and keep in our mind while taking the medicine, or if someone is prescribing the medicine, how shall we know that, it will not have side effects?
I would suggest the first thing is to be aware ourselves. We should check the ingredients on the medicine. They're always in proper Ayurvedic medicine. You see, there's a difference. Some are herbal medicines, okay? They are not based on Ayurvedic text. And other are even if there is an Ayurvedic medicine, there are two types of Ayurvedic medicines. One is patented product. That means in Charak Samhita, it is said something about ashwagandha that it is very good for, spermatogenesis or something like that. So based on that, we have done some experiment, and, on that experiment, we have created a combination, and we have patented that combination. So that patent medicine is okay. Ayurvedic as a base, it has Ayurveda, but it is based on certain research done by a certain company. So I would be very careful if I do not know that company, if I do not know a history or what is their performance and everything, then probably I would not go for such patented products unless and until the company has been standing for a long time with a good reputation. Okay, so this is one thing. Another type of Ayurvedic medicine is classical Ayurvedic medicine. For example, Chavanprash or Haridrakhand. These are classical combinations taken from the ancient texts. For example, Charak Samhita or Sushrut Samhita. So, and these are tried and tested combinations over the years. If the company is manufacturing the product in the correct way, then these products are highly effective and I've seen amazing benefits with them. So this is one way. However, there are certain classical products which are fairly dangerous, and I have my personal experience with one of them. For example, Sanjeevani Vati. It is meant for fever. Again, there are certain things with heavy metals, certain things which with poisonous herbs, and these medicines. You must look up the ingredients. For example, if you see ingredient called aconite, Aconite is highly poisonous herb. Then bhallatak or marking nut is very, very poisonous. So if the medicines contain something like this, and please look up the description, whether the herb is, what is the properties of the herb. Normally, people do not have that much of time, and I quite understand that it might not be possible for a layman to understand all these things. But I believe that you can definitely look up the ingredients. For example, the safe herbs like ashwagandha, shatavari, muesli, turmeric. These are safe herbs. You can use them day in and day out. But if you see something which you are not familiar with, you have not heard, then please go consult your physician. Ask him specifically what is the purpose of this herb in this medicine. What does it do?
Okay.
And for how long I can take it. And there's a lot of information available online now about the proper dosage of Ayurvedic medicines. So I suggest that it's best to be aware ourselves and cross-check everything once we are taking the medicine for the first time. And there is another very, very good and effective procedure for taking Ayurvedic medicine. It is called Upashay. Upashay is a classical way of testing Ayurvedic medicine. Even the very experienced Ayurveda Vaidya will, follow this process of Upashay. In the process of Upashay, if you have a problem, say supposing you have a problem, and I decide on a medicine, okay, fine, this is my drug of choice, I will try it on Hitesh. In that case, I would give you only 1/4 or 1/10 of the medicine. Okay, as a test. Even if I'm very sure it is good for you, then also I will give you only 1/10 of that medicine. Or 1/4 in best cases. And observe the result of medicine for a few days. For old people or for children, it can be up to 10 days or 7 days. For grown-up adults, healthy, normal people, it can be 2 to 3 days. Observe the result of the medicine once you're having it. And if you feel that there is any problem, you observe there is any kind of, don't feel comfortable, then stop the medicine. Because every person is unique. And I know one person who suffers with severe headache whenever he has ashwagandha. Now he has some problem with ashwagandha. I've never seen it. But here is a person who reacts to ashwagandha. And yes, definitely, every person is unique. Even for topical ointment in Ayurveda, Ayurvedic ointments are considered to be safe normally. But the technique of Upashay says that first you apply any external thing on the toes and observe the toes for 2 to 3 days. If the toes are fine, if there's no inflammation, no itching, then you apply it on your face or more sensitive parts of the skin. Otherwise, you do not, just go eat something or just go apply something in the full dosage and then face some kind of side effects. So whenever you are starting, first thing is that you look up the ingredients, you ensure they are safe, you ask your physician. Even when you're starting the medicine, you go gradually. There is a graph. Even there is a graph for decreasing the medicine. We don't just start or stop the medicine. It's just like, pulling the brakes immediately and the bike will fall.
Yeah.
The same happens for the body. So these are few procedures which will ensure that you are able to consume medicines in a safe manner. Yeah. And I think the dosage is also now available. You can always cross-check. Please do cross-check online whether the dosage that you receive from your Ayurveda physician or Ayurveda practitioner is proper or not. So these are the things which we can do.
Okay, great. No, that's really interesting, and I mean it's a great thing to know for those who are actually already using the Ayurvedic medicines or are in the process of taking these medicines. So I mean, from your experience, Kanika, have you ever had such experience of side effects of Ayurvedic medicines?
Oh yes. And it was like almost, I had a near-death experience.
Oh my God!
So I was in college. I think in first year of Ayurveda, and first year of BMS, and I had my exam, okay, and I fell sick. I had fever, so I thought, okay, let me take Sanjeevani Vati. Sanjeevani Vati is one medicine which contains both Bhallatak and Vatsanap, that means Aconate and marking nut together, and it's good for fever and all. Okay, so dosage is very important for certain strong medicines in Ayurveda, and Ratti is it's a kind of measurement for Ayurvedic medicine, and one Ratti is just 182 milligram. That's very small amount, and this medicines you take just 1 or 2 Ratti. These strong medicines, okay. So I thought I got my supplies from government college because I was in government college, and I thought that okay, fine, this is probably government medicine, and it might be old and probably not have that much of effect. So let me eat a little bit more, so that I have my exam tomorrow. I must get better. So I don't know. I took quite a lot, and next morning I woke up. I couldn't feel my body. It
Oh my
was
God.
like getting cold. It was getting cold, and I thought I'll just go to washroom, and I started walking towards from my bedroom to washroom, and I walked 10 steps. I couldn't see anything. I just had to sit down. It was so severe, and I could feel my body getting colder. And different kind of tinginess, and then my mom saw me and she came running. She was very scared, and they took me back to bed, and I just lay down there, and I couldn't tell anyone that I have done this because then you get a lot of things from your parents. So I couldn't tell my mommy. I was scared, and I didn't know what to do. So I remember just one thing, that cow's ghee or any ghee is an elixir, and it is an antidote for most of the poisonous medicines in Ayurveda. So I told my mommy, I want to eat ghee. Unfortunately, we at that time we had homemade pure ghee in our home. So she didn't say anything, just brought me that bottle of ghee, and every hour I kept taking 1 spoon of ghee. I couldn't stand for 2 days.
Oh my
I
God.
couldn't stand for 2 days. On the third day, I was able to walk. I went to washroom, and the stool was completely green in color. It was mucousy and green. There was so much of poison inside my body, and I just took me 1 full week to recover from that. It could have been fatal.
Oh my God.
Could have been fatal. So this is my personal experience, and that is why I really want people to know that there are certain medicines. These are very strong medicines. They are meant for severe disorders like rheumatoid arthritis or fever, or some severe disorders. So you must be very careful. You must be very careful when we are taking some Ayurvedic medicine, and read the ingredients carefully. So this is my personal experience. That's why, sometimes I've never used Sanjeevani Vati for anyone at all after that. I know it's a good medicine, but somehow I don't feel like.
Yeah, I mean, you
So,
never know how people will take the medicine,
yeah, exactly. I cannot control the way they are taking. I just don't want to take any chance. Unless and until you are in a hospital setting and I have my patient under my observation, I would not prescribe anything like this.
That's true. That's very true. It's important to take care. I mean, it's important from both the end, I guess, one who is prescribing the medicine and one who is taking the medicine. The responsibility lies on both the person, that they're getting the right medicine, they are taking them as prescribed, and then, because in the end, they are medicines, they are not food,
Yes,
So you
correct.
have to make sure that you take them as a medicine and not as a food. So yeah, I guess that was an interesting and really surprising experience that you have had with Ayurveda. I guess that also, I mean, that experience is with you must have helped you while you were prescribing medicines to others.
Yes, and in fact, this is not the only one. I've had many side effects from Ayurvedic medicine. So, yes, I would really urge people to be careful.
That's good that people should know this. I guess that's very important that people should know. I guess our last episode and this episode are very important in that sense to make an understanding about how you take the Ayurvedic medicines. When it comes to medicine, Ayurveda is a whole lot of a universe, and there are things that you have to be careful about while following Ayurveda. So, okay, Kanika, thanks a lot for this episode and giving us so much valuable information once again. And we will connect again with the next episode very soon. And till then, thank you everyone for watching and listening to our podcast. The next podcast is going to be another interesting one. So keep an eye as always. Thank you once again. Hope you enjoyed our podcast. Do not forget to follow us or subscribe. This podcast is brought to you by Kiwi Towels, bringing Ayurvedic dyeing to the modern world.